Alright guys, welcome back to Death from Above 40k. We've got another battle report. Look to the skies, brothers, here it comes. So we've got Blood Angels versus Craftworlds Altway, or Elder as I know them, but they call them all sorts of weird stuff now. Pointy-eared dudes. We got Ben here, he's going to run the Elder. Say g'day, Ben.
Hello.
Hello. So, Ben said he wanted to learn to play Elder, so we've sort of put this list together for him to have a bit of a go at. So we'll run through and tell you what we got. So first things first, troops, he's got 1, 2, and 3 10-man units of Guardians with their shooting catapults. Then for HQs, he's got Eldrad, he's got a Farce here, and then he's got the Avatar of Cain, because why the hell would you leave home without the Avatar of Cain? That's just the way it is. Elites, he's got 5 Wraithguard, and then heavy support, got 3 Shadow Weavers, not Shadow Weavers, support weapons with the Weaver gun. It'll come to me in a second. Fire Prism, and then he's got a transport here with the Bright Lance on it. Now, we went over it before, and he's going to make the Avatar of Cain his Warlord. He's going to give him Falcon Swiftness, so he gets +2 to his movement. He's going to give him the Phoenix Gem, so he can get back up and crush people's heads. Now, your psychic powers he chose, Ben. What were the ones he chose for Eldrad?
Guide, Executioner, and Fortune.
Guide, Executioner, and Fortune. And what was it for this guy?
Doom and Executioner.
Doom and Executioner, right. And for those of you who don't know, the army-wide special rule for Altway is they get 6 up Feel No Pain for everything in the army. So this comes in at 1,500 points and 12 command points, because you haven't spent any. You only take the 1 free relic. Yeah, that's your Eldar army. Alright. Now they're going to be going up against these guys who are undefeated thus far. And I've finished painting absolutely everything in the list now. So we've got our shiny new, fully redone 9th edition Blood Angels. So let's break it down what we got. Beg my pardon. We got Mephiston up the front here. He's got Shield of Sanguinius, the Quickening, and Wings of Sanguinius. Then up the back, we've got Librarian Dreadnought. He's got Wings of Sanguinius and the Quickening himself. He's going to be the Warlord, and he's taking Gift of Foresight, so the 6 up Feel No Pain. And I'm also going to pay the 1 command point for a relic for him to have the Sarcophagus, because obviously we always take the banner. So we'll be coming in 1 point short due to that. Troops choices. We got 1. Oop, focus, mate. 2. 3 5-man units of Intercessors, Auto Bolt Rifles, and Power Fists. That's the only way you should be taking them. Elites. As I said, we've got the banner, so we're taking the Banner of Sacrifice, which gives the Feel No Pain. So that's the 2nd relic right there. Then we've got 1, 2 Furioso Dreads. They've both got the Frag Cannons and Heavy Flamers. Then for Fast Attack, we've got these bikes finished now. So we've got the 3 of them ready to rock and roll. Multi-Melters and Bolt Guns. They did really well last match, so I'm hoping that they replicate it this match. Heavy Support. We've got the Spitfire, which has got all Dakar. And then we've got the Bulldog, which is all Laz. You've seen what they do. So that's the army at 1,500 points. And I've spent 1 command point on an extra relic. So we'll be coming into the battle with 11 command points. So that's the 2 armies. We'll roll up a mission. And we'll see who comes out on top. There's going to be a lot of psychic shenanigans in this one. So who is better, Eldrad or Mephiston? We'll find out in a minute, guys. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we have rolled up a mission, and the mission we've rolled up is Scorched Earth. But before we go over the mission, I'm just going to quickly go through our secondaries. Don't mind we can't even see that, handwriting. So I'll go over them. For myself, I have picked Assassinate, which I get 3 points at the end of the battle for each enemy character that I kill, which Ben has 3 of. Then for the secondary, I've got Domination, so pretty much hold more objectives than your opponent, and you get more points for that. And then the last one is line breaker. So if I get points for having units in his deployment zone. Then Ben's chose bring it down. So killing vehicles will give him extra points. Domination, which is the one I just went through, and raise the banner. So he can get on one of these objectives, raise the banner, and get extra points. Now for the mission, sorry about this, guys. There's so many rules in this new one that I've got to have it all in front of me to go over it. So it's scorched earth. Pretty simple. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's one under here, 6. So same rules as most missions. You get 5 points for each objective you're on, 5 points for multiple objectives, or 5 points if you have more than your opponent, for a maximum of 15 each turn. That starts from battle round 2, so you don't get any points first turn. And then it's a bonus objective. So if I'm on this side, these 2 objectives over this side, if I can get a hold of them, I can burn or raise the objective, and then at the end of the battlefield, if I did one of them, I get 5 points. If I've burnt both of his objectives, I get 15 points, and vice versa. So if he comes over here and burns these 2, he gets the bonus points. So that is the mission. Sorry about that. I'm juggling shit everywhere. All right, we'll go over the deployment. So we've got 2 attack bikes over here coming across. We've got the Bulldog coming over here, Librarian Dreadnought, Mephiston, Sangri Ancient, and all the troops. And then over here we got the Spitfire and another attack bike hidden. Then we've got 2 Dreadnoughts. I've paid 2 command points because someone corrected me in the last battle report, which was nice. Thank you for Mr. Man who corrected me. So I've only paid the 2 command points, put them in reserves or strategic outflanking, something like that. All right, for Ben's deployment, Wave Serpent. In the Wave Serpent, he's got the 5 Wraithguard and Eldrad coming to the centre. He's hidden his Fire Prism behind this centre building. Over here, he's got the Avatar, and then another Farsi, and then a unit of bloody Guardians. I can't even think straight. Then he's hidden these guys in the building over here. He's paid the 2 command points for the Webway portal. That's an Ulthway stratagem, and he's put 2 units of the Guardians in, well, I call it Deep Strike Reserve, so they can come popping in and land on all these objectives later on in the match. Now, because Dave corrected me last week, we've set up, we still roll off to see who has first turn. So we'll roll in the centre here and see if, out of 2, would you get 6? So Ben's going to be having first turn by the looks of that. So we'll let him get to it and see if these pointy-eared guys can't smash up my army and get some points going. Right, we'll get back to you in a minute. Alright guys, end of Craftworld turn 1. So, what has happened? Alright, let's go through and break it down. So, movement phase. The Wave Serpent, come from around here, sat on this objective. Then it used the Sprite Lancers, Shuriken Cannons, fired across over here, killed 3 Primaris Marines. Then if we come over here, this Fire Prism moved from around here to over here, which meant I only got to shoot 1 time. Fired over into these guys, same unit, but did nothing. Now, this Farseer, the Avatar, and these guys they actually all ran, sorry. And then the Farseer cast Doom on this front bike, and then this unit shot into him and they took 3 wounds off him, but he stayed alive, so he didn't die. He's on 1 wound. But they've moved on to 1, 2, 3 objectives in the first turn. Obviously they don't get any points till the next one, so we're going to have to go into Blood Angels turn 1 and show these pointy-eared little McFucks what's going on. Alright guys, we'll get back to you in a minute. Alright guys, we've got Blood Angels turn 1 out of the way. So, what's happened? So, we've got a bit of movement going on. We'll start over here. So these 2 attack bikes moved around to here. This tank moved around to here. These guys simply stepped across onto the objective. These 2 units at the front ran and got all the way over to this objective. Banner followed up to give Feel No Pain bubble to all of these units. Mephiston ran to there. This attack bike and the Spitfire just come around this side, aiming down here. Psychic power wise, Mephiston put shield on this tank. That was all he done, and then this guy gave himself wings and flew over here, and then he took a mortal wound off the battle tank. Shooting wise, everything over here, so these guys, well, everything on this side besides this shot over here into this tank and took 7 wounds off him, so we took him down a bracket, so it'd be hitting on 4s next turn, which is nice. And then this shot over here got 3 hits, 3 wounds, but then I only rolled out of 3 dice like 5 or 6 damage. I think there should be 4 taken off him, so he's still pretty battle ready. These guys here that zipped over here, shot over into here and killed 3 guardians. So at the end of Blood Angels turn 1, we're sitting on 3 objectives ourselves and ready to rumble. So we'll go into Eldar turn 2 and see what we can do. Alright guys, we'll get back to you in a minute. Alright guys, end of Craftworld turn 2. Bits and bobs have happened, not anything crazy. So, we'll start over here. This thing sort of stayed on the objective here, and this one hovered around this objective here, which netted 10 points for battle round 2 for Ben. This fired into these Marines here and did 1 wound. These guys got out with Eldrad. The only psychic power Eldrad was able to get off was Guide on these guys. All the other psychic powers were shut down by these 2. And then with these guys, he shot into the unit that was here, the Primaris Marines, and nuked 4 of them. I think for the wounds, he did like something like 5s and 6s, every one of them. So Feel No Pain was not an option in that one. So he just got out and he's like, fucking bang. So that unit's injured, but then morale, because of the banner, we're good to go, boys. Over here, this thing fired 2 shots across at the Bulldog, and because I put Shield of Sanguinius on, he saved 1, and then he only rolled 2 damage, so that thing's still good to go where it is. And then this, and everything else over on this side, killed one of my bikes, and then wounded this one down to 1 wound. So, at the end of Craftworld's turn 2, they've scored 5 points, and they're spreading out over the battlefield, so he's now on 1, 2, 3 objectives here, and he's sort of heading down this way here. He's still got some reserves to come in as well, so we'll see what he does with that later. I've got a funny feeling he's going to come into my back line, but hey, we'll see what happens. Alright guys, we'll get back to you in Blood Angel turn 2 and see if we can't crush some face. Alright guys, end of Blood Angel turn 2, and we've had a bit of a brutal onslaught, goings on kind of stuff. So we'll start with the movement phase. This thing stayed on this objective. This stayed still. This come across here onto this objective. The troops that were here ran up to here, and then all of this stuff here is just sort of pressed forward, as you can see. And then at the end of the movement phase, these 2 came on from the side here as strategic reserves. So, shooting wise, this didn't do anything. This shot over into his fire prism and done. How many wounds did I do that time? No, it was no, because for the wounds I rolled 1s and 2s and did nothing. Yeah, did nothing. So this and this have been firing back and forward at each other and not really doing a great deal of damage. This Bar Predator, when it zipped across here, gunned down all the Guardians that were here single-handedly and blew them all away. This here tried to shoot across here into this and did nothing. Over here, we'll summarise this in one thing. These things shot frag cannons as heavy flamers into his support weapons, killed one, then both of them made their charges and just crushed them. Also getting me Line Breaker as well by both being in his deployment zone at the end of turn 2, so that was extra 4 points. Then over here, pretty much it was the Dreadnought that single-handedly wiped out all of the Wraith Guard, and then Mephiston flew over, and it took him 2 rounds to kill the Wave Serpent, so he attacked it, took a few wounds off. Then at the end of combat, after everyone had fought back, I paid 3 command points for him to go again. So at the end of the Blood Angels turn, we've killed an absolute bucket load of shit, and we've maxed points. So we were on this objective, and this objective at the start. So that was 15 points, and then the bonus 4 points for Line Breaker. So that pretty much summarizes. Oh, the other thing too is the only psychic power that got off was his wings. Eldrad shut down pretty much all other psychic powers. Yeah. Alright, so that was Blood Angels turn 2. So we'll get back to you at the end of the Eldar turn 3. See what Eldrad can do, because he's just standing in the middle here and he's an absolute psychic beat stick. Psychic beat stick versus psychic beat stick. Let's fucking go. Alright, we'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Craftworlds turn 3. So we'll break down points first. You got 5 points for being on this one, and 5 points being on this one, so 10 points. So 20 points total for Ben. So let's go through what happened. So this thing sat still on this objective. It shot over here and killed the attack bike. These guys came in from Deep Strike and they killed the attack bike that was here. These guys came in from Deep Strike and took a wound off Mephiston. The psychic powers over here, so it was Executioner. He used over here and he took 3 wounds off one of the Furiosos. And then the Avatar Arcane threw his Wailing Doom and killed the other one. But then the distance here and charging through cover, he couldn't make it because it was a 13-inch charge. So he sort of, but then the Dreadnought exploded and did 3 mortal wounds on this one. So he killed one Dreadnought and did 3 mortal wounds on it. So it wasn't a bad result, even though he didn't get the charge off. Coming over here, Eldrad was a hit and a miss with psychic powers. He didn't really get any off because they were shut down by all these guys. Then he ran in to attack Mephiston, and then Ben realised he actually only has 2 attacks, which I didn't even really remember. He did nothing, and then Mephiston took 2 wounds back off him. So Eldrad's got a 3-up invulnerable save for those of you who don't know. So he's quite durable, and he's a tough 4 Eldar. Tough 4 people with a feel no pain. So he's about as durable as a space elf gets. So at the end of this turn, he's brought some troops in here, there and everywhere for a bit of board control. See what he can do. But for now, we're going to go on to Blood Angels turn 3, which is when we turn our power fists on and chainswords and rin. Alright guys, we'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, end of Blood Angel turn 3, and it's been a massacre. Who would have thunked it? Alright, let's break down what has happened. So we've got, movement wise, this Predator comes zipping along here and gun down the Guardians that were here, the whole unit gone. Get yourself a Baal Predator, that's what they do, they delete infantry. The Bulldog shot across and finally smoked the Fire Prism. I didn't really think about that. It's in the afternoon, we haven't eaten, people. Freaking just back off, give us a break. Then there was a Furioso Dread here that shot into this guy and took some wounds off, but then he ran in, didn't do much damage, and then the Avatar cut him down. And then over here, pretty much, Eldrad was dominated by these 2, and then this Librarian Dreadnought and these guys with their auto bolt rifles finished off the Guardians that were here. So at the end of that round, that's put me with my secondaries and these primaries on 36 points, and Ben's on 24 points. Now all Ben's got left on the battlefield are these 2 characters, which means at the start of his next turn he'll get 5 points for that. And that's pretty much all he can do unless he can kill a vehicle. But then I'm going to get max points again and then more points for killing these characters. So we've called the game there because you just can't get back in the game points wise. So that's another victory for the Blood Angels. They're on a 7 win streak tear here on 9th edition. Can anyone stop these? On the Facebook page, I actually put that on the Death From Above Facebook page. And Aaron has called out that he wants to take them on next with his Harlequins. I haven't played Harlequins in 9th edition. He reckons they're pretty good, so that could be the next matchup for the Blood Angels. Man of the match for me, I'm going with the Librarian Dreadnought because he did a heap of damage, but also second runners up. The 2 Furiosos coming in from the side here and tearing up here was integral to the match. So, what are you choosing as your man of the match, Ben?
The Avatar. Avatar Kane.
Why are you choosing the Avatar?
Oh, he threw his sword and went straight through the Dreadnought and then did mortal wounds on the other one.
He single-handedly cut down both Furioso Dreadnoughts by throwing his sword through one and then cutting the other one down in close combat. So that was pretty cool. And he's still here to tell the story as well. So, anything else you want to add about the game?
No, just...
No? Enjoyed it?
Blood Angels are just, yeah.
Blood Angels are just running amok, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you'll have to get back to the drawing board, get some more lists, and we'll see what we can do. Can anyone stop the bloody red thirst? No one knows, but we'll find out. We'll get back to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and stay safe out there, guys.